Okay, so we actually do know where Karen is. Someplace called the Forever Grace Circle, which to me, I think is pretty interesting that Karen, in order to find the help she needs, has opted to swap out her sister circle for this Forever Grace Circle. Now, this could indeed be some sort of like, therapeutic group or something along those lines, which I find very interesting because I, and I swear I'm not trying to go on some tangent about Zatima and Sisters and the continuity and whatnot, but it does feel interesting when sometimes we see particular plot points in Zatima that kind of get rehashed and put into Sisters, and sometimes vice versa, especially when Zatima first started, and we see elements kind of recycled in Zatima just with different players at hand. But I will say that seeing Karen potentially joining a new group, which is supposed to be for like self help and whatnot, truly reminds me of what we've seen of Zach in season 5 of Zatima, where he's joined the anger management class mainly due to court order, but at least Lori and Dr. Reed are in there, so it's not like he's alone with a group of strangers. But basically, with Karen in this group now, well, she's there. I don't want to say she's in it, but she's there. It makes me wonder, could this be Ebony's soft exit from the series? And when I say soft exit, I mean she could come back, but she could be gone for a while. And honestly, I think that is for the best. Kind of like with Gary potentially leaving the series, because I'm all for taking the show in a different direction, even if it means we lose some familiar faces. But I could definitely see a situation where I believe it was the game season 4. Remember when BET brought back the game and Kelly Pitts, well, no, she was actually back to her maiden name because her and Jason were divorced at the time. But it was the episode where Kelly went viral for twerking all over a rapper, and then Brittany was posting thirst traps online despite being a minor. And Kelly at the end of the episode was like, Jason, can you take like full custody of Brittany while I go and try to find myself, because I don't know who I am now that I'm no longer Kelly Pitt. So she was gone from the show for a while. And I feel like the same thing kind of applies here. And I got to really throw it back several months ago, but this was around the time I believe they had wrapped filming for season 10, which, hey, I still know little to nothing about season 10 because I think around Sisters season 8 is when the new writers or whoever was like, yeah, so guys, no more posting behind the scenes stuff, no more putting things on Actors Access because it just reveals way too much of the plot, which is kind of crazy in hindsight because I guess it was the writers that made this choice, not Viacom. But the fact that they wanted so hard to keep everything under wraps at first had you like, oh wow, that means we must be in for a great season and whatnot. But given how lackluster the show has been, it's like, well, you could have just told us and, well, oh well. But yeah, it's just one of those things where when it boils down to it, I think that it was the food truck, yeah, at the end of filming, because after the end of every season that films, the cast kind of, put together funds to get a food truck for like the cast and crew, kind of just to thank you for, helping them get through their 1 or 2 weeks of filming. And there was a photo that had Andy, Danny, Fatima, and I think Sabrina and Karen were missing. And then they were just, no, wait. It was Andy, Danny, Pam, Fatima, and 1 or 2 other women. I know that Karen and or Sabrina were gone, and people were like, whoa, does this mean they're not in season 10? And the speculation began. But I will say that this faith circle thing, this could be our, like I said, farewell for Karen, where she's going to stay with this group for however long it's necessary for her to kind of snap out of it. Her current funk, not just postpartum, but, and I know the Karen supporters would just be like, see, Jeremy, there you go. You hate Karen. And yeah, now you're cheering that she's gone. But I'm talking as a fan who wants to see best for the character. It's been 8.5 seasons, people. And if this is what's necessary for Karen to, I don't necessarily want to say get back to how she was, but to feel better, to be a functioning person outside of her former relationship with Zach, get back to a place where she is able to not only kind of function in life yet again after losing forever, but also her connection to Zach, and be the best mother she can be, but also the mother that Faith deserves. And if it means we're not going to see Karen until, I don't know, the tail end of the season, or maybe brief cameos or just mentioning name drops in season 10, I'm here for it, because of the fact that, similar to Gary, if Gary isn't attached to Andy in some way, shape, or form, what's his purpose in the show? And when it comes to Karen, if she's not tethered to Zach, what is her purpose in the show? Now, granted, many times I've done videos talking about the various ways Tyler or these other writers could have focused Karen solely on being a single mom, focusing on her salon, roots to riches even. But instead, they just had to put all the drama in relation to, oh, who's the baby daddy, and will her and Zach be able to co-parent peacefully? What about her and Fatima? No, they just spent way too much time on that. And it was at a point where Karen was not a feasible character by herself. And you know what's funny? Is that Gary is seemingly leaving the show, and this could be Karen's soft exit from the series. And yet these two were the characters who were like the main characters since these writers took over. The joke is, oh, as soon as season 7 started, it became the Gary show featuring the sister circle. And it felt like each season kind of was split in half, where one half was focused on Gary, the other half was focused on Karen, for both season 7 and 8. And when you really think about it, it kind of was. It really was. So I truly feel like Karen could be out of the series for a while. Now, whether or not Faith will stay with her, I don't know. Because I'm just wondering why she took her in the first place. It's one thing if she left Faith there completely alone. However, we know Miss Lisa was taking a nap in the bedroom, meaning that even if Karen left without carrying Faith with her, at least Faith had her grandmother in the other room. Granted, if Miss Lisa woke up to the baby crying, it's like, well, Faith is crying. Why isn't Karen, calming this girl down? And I don't know. I mean, I still would have felt away, but then again, I still would have felt away about it. But at least knowing Miss Lisa was in the other room would have added some comfort compared to the apartment being completely empty. So will Karen ask Aaron, like, can I please keep Faith with me? Because I feel like being in this new group and being in close proximity to my daughter will allow me to kind of just have a constant reminder of who I'm trying to get better for. Yes, it's important for me to get better, not just for myself, but to know that, hey, this little one needs me. This is going to give me the drive I need to become a better version of myself so I can be the best mother I can for my remaining child. So I don't know. This could be a good story beat. This could change the trajectory of how I look at this storyline, because right now it does seem confusing as I don't know what with her calling Fatima in the middle of the night and telling her not to tell Zach. And yeah, I've already done my video about how this could be some kind of scheme to kind of test if Zach still cares for her or whatever. But I don't know. This could be it. Do you think that this group, this circle, could be Karen's exit from the series? And to be completely honest, and I'm not trying to throw shade, but I feel like we can all, or the majority can agree, dang near any circle could be better and a heck of a lot toxic than the sister circle. Especially when it comes to Karen, she's going to be around individuals who they'll be patient and understanding, but they're not going to constantly coddle her. They're actually going to want to see Karen improve, self-reflect. You know, anytime Karen or Andy, or essentially darn near any moment where it seems that one of the women is having a moment where it's like a come to Jesus moment with themselves of, this is my fault. I'm not marriage material. Oh, yes, you are. It's the man that's wrong. I'm like, shut up, shut up, shut up. We spent a season of this heifer seemingly just being, well, no, we spent a season of this heifer being awful. And now she's finally starting to realize maybe I'm the issue. And then you'll have Sabrina or somebody going like, no, it's not you. It's not your fault. It's all, oh God. No. So if Karen needs to be absent from the show in order to get better, I am here for that. I'm here for that. And as I said, this is not me coming off as I hate Karen, I need to get her off my screen. No, this is me as a viewer wanting to see one of these characters improve themselves. And if it means being taken off the board for a little while, so be it. So that's really all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think that, let me get the name again, I forgot. Because I was just looking at the screenshot I took from the trailer when I watched it in slow motion. The Forever Grace Circle. Forever Grace Circle. And how appropriate the name Forever being the name of the stillborn. So there you go. Yeah. I mean, the name itself probably drew a connection. And I don't know. This could just be therapy in general. This could be a church group. This could just be for grieving mothers. I'm sure we'll find out in due time. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.